Hello everyone, Maryann here, revealing light, tarot, astrology and spirituality. Wherever you are when you're watching this, a huge shout out to you. This will be only a very quick video because I've released tarot scopes for the month of June. So I don't want to overburden people with me, but this will just be short in light of the historical event that is taking place at the moment, and that's of course the jury deliberating on a former president, whether to convict a former president in the US. And I, for one, the moment is not lost on me. I did have a thought the other day where I wanted to check and make sure the jury was okay, because anything can happen, and so we'll have a look at that. Also, Justice Alito on the Supreme Court came out and said, I'm not recusing myself from the Trump cases, the ex-president's cases before the Supreme Court, in particular the immunity case that we're all concerned about. And I just want to say, I did see he would eventually recuse himself, and I'm not quite ready to say that I got that one incorrect. Not quite ready to go there yet, because I actually did see some sort of media publication working on a conversation that he may have had, or someone close to him may have had, which will pour further, which will be leaked to the media, which will pour further gasoline on that fire. I just think I've just got the intuition. It's like a dog with the bone. We're not done with this one yet. Whatever happens, I think we need to stay tuned. Of course, I could be wrong as well, and that could be the end of the matter. He says he's not going to recuse himself, and he won't. But I don't think so. Anyway, we'll check that out and see if we can glean more information. Before I start, I want to say it's very difficult to know if this is people trolling me or what. Well, I do know. I get a pretty good sense of it. And I usually give people a couple of chances to prove me wrong. But people are saying, you said he was not going to make it to the election. No, that's not what I said at all. I said I saw the death cards in a particular reading coming up very, very frequently. And I said, gosh, he may not even make it to the election. And so that's a possibility. It still is a possibility because of his health issues. Now, the other thing I did say was that his mental and physical decline will be very obvious by the time we get to his trial in New York. And I read on that months and months and months ago. And I think that has come to pass. Now, it's a possibility that he may not make it to the election, but it's not a certainty. I'm reacting to the number of death cards that I kept seeing in that particular reading. Death can also mean an end of something as well. So I didn't say categorically he wouldn't. I said if he makes it to the election, and that's the premise in which I'm reading going forward. If I get an absolute certainty on that one, you'll be the first to know. Now, people also are confusing me with other readers, and so I want to say I don't look at that. I run my own race. So this I can say for certain. His health problems, and I've been saying this 5 years ago, I read on did he have dementia. I can say for certain that his health problems are very, very real. Very, very real. And of course and that is a certainty. Those predictions are certainties. And of course in the summation of the New York trial, he was falling asleep again, and passing wind, so they say. This is not a person that is displaying the cognitive stability to take on another presidency, let alone anything else. I do intuitively think there's a degree of madness there too that is going to become more apparent, waving to crowds that aren't there, saluting when we've got amazing grace. I mean, if this was our uncle, we'd take the family aside and say, what are we going to do? But it's not. He's the candidate for the US presidency. Okay, there's that. I also want to say, when I read on his connections with Epstein, and I did a Zoom and I showed you the the very, very strong investigations of the Guardian newspaper. Shout out to the Guardian, who's resurrecting his past. And I said there could be something that comes out. Well, about 3 or 4 days after that, some independent channels took that story up, and I learnt from them that that there is a film called The Apprentice at the Cannes Film Festival that is seeking distributors so that it can be released. And that is canvassing a lot of his past with Roy Cohn and the alleged raping of his wife in a deposition that she gave, Ivanka, all the modelling days. And so it was interesting that I did that reading, and then a few days later that comes out. But that's the way it works with me. I want to say this isn't an exact science. I pick up a lot clairvoyantly, and they are pictures, images, fragments of some point in time. So let's move on to today's reading, because I want to draw this out. I've said that I think he is convicted. I'm not sure that it's on every single charge, but that sort of detail is, to me, if he's a convicted felon by the end of this, well, that's something he'll carry for the rest of his life. And if he is, while he's campaigning, you think about it, a US candidate who's a convicted felon. All right, campaign violations. That's the charge. Of course, the sub-layers there is business fraud and hush money payments to porn stars. The jury's out. It's asking some questions. I've watched some morning media here or evening media in the US. It's hard to predict, but that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm just going to just check on that conviction here. Let's go to the jury. I did have a bit of a thing at the back of my mind at my last reading, and I didn't get to it. So is the jury going to be okay? Like, is this well, let's just come out. Will there be a hung jury? Will there be a hung jury? Will there be a hung jury? I don't think so. I'm getting the victory card and someone handing an envelope to some, like in that victory. So we get the world card, endings and beginnings, major end of a cycle, and then we get partisanship. I just already can feel into the energy. I feel the energy of the cards as even before I'm pulling them. So we get abuse of power, the base of the pack, and then we get the truth emerging. That's in the past. We get the heaviness of it all, the 10 of Wands. A lot of, I think, 39, I don't know the actual number, but there are a lot of charges here to go through. That's why I don't think he may not necessarily be convicted on all. There's sort of holding back information. There could be a holdout there in the jury, wanting more information. Okay, we get the Queen of Pentacles. She's stability, finances, and the Empress card, abundance. This is the fraud, I think. The fraud is emerging here. We get the Queen of Swords in the hopes and fears that they will use logic, they will follow the letter of the law, which is what the jury must do. And we get the Page of Swords and the Tower. Okay, so I'm going to draw some clarifiers there, and the 10 of Cups, the Ace of Cups. Okay, so there's a Tower, anxiety here. I don't know. They're concerned about their families. Is that enough for them to, do the sway the verdict? No, I don't think so. So will the jury be hung? It's a no. Like the Tower is a no card, but I don't like seeing it there. So will the jury be hung? Can you clarify the Page of Swords? I think there's someone holding out for more information. I think there's someone on there that's wants to make absolutely sure they're doing the right thing. Is there a spy in the camp? Hope not. So can you clarify these Tower and the Page of Swords? Will the jury be hung? So much at play here. So we get the King of Pentacles. That's Trump, my card for Trump. these cards. And then we get the Two of Swords, heavy deliberations, heavy decisions. And then we get the Judgment, inevitability. And then we get the Knight of Wands, moving forward. This is not an easy process for any of them. I'm going to say I don't see a hung jury. Five of Swords, though, abuse. But I do see someone very, very, very worried who may have actually copped abuse already. And the Five of Pentacles, shunned and avoided. I've been part of the jury that, convicts an ex-president. No, I don't think the jury is going to be hung, but it's not easy for them. And there is they are worried about their safety, but more so about their family, about their children. There's someone there that's really worried about their children. I wonder if they've received threats, because that's what that card would indicate. Okay, so I don't think so, but there's some pretty heavy energies there. And we wouldn't know the half of it right now. Of course, we will once things have settled down. We will know isolation and the Chariot, and then after that we get these cards are hard. The King of Swords. No, they will rule fairly. I think. I don't think it's going to be a hung jury, but there are some issues there. There are some issues there with that Tower card, and I think someone's been threatened on there, or someone's family has been threatened. Okay, so let's have a look. Will they convict on any of the charges? That's the question. Will they convict on any of the charges? Will they convict on any of the charges? Will they convict on any of the charges? Let's see the energy. Will they convict on any of the charges? Will they convict on any of the charges? Any of the charges. The Moon card, interesting. Volatility. Knight of Cups. The Moon card, things coming up from underneath the surface. The Knight of Cups. There could have even been, someone could have even been like, there could have been a bribe attempt. Don't be surprised at what has gone on here when it does eventually finish. The King of Wands is a good card. That's my card for the prosecution. It's at the foundation of the reading. In the past, we get heavy decisions to be made. Can also be manipulation as well. The Ace of Pentacles, that's a good card. I think the fraud is proven. I think that's a no-brainer. And I think that's what's needed, isn't it, for the campaign violations. Hush money payments in themselves aren't violations, but they are in the middle of an election cycle when you try and cover them up. So, yeah, the Sun card is the brightest in the arena here. And we've got Three of Pentacles in the here and now. Deliberation, using the logic, using the law. Wheel of Fortune in the hopes and fears. Well, we can only hope, can't we? Queen of Cups and the downfall and the Ten of Pentacles. I think, and the Queen of Pentacles, the fraud is proven. Therefore, the campaign violation charge is upheld. That's what I think, seeing so many Pentacles. We've got the Page of Swords and the Ten of Wands, indicating the difficulty in upholding the truth. And we get through to this abuse of power, this sabotaging something. And then we get the Victory card here. So I'm positive that he will be convicted. I don't think there's a hung jury, but there's certainly issues there. And we'll find out later. That Tower card didn't come up for no reason at all. The abuse, the Five of Swords keeps coming up. Sabotage. Don't think it's a hung jury though, but there's somebody that's wanting more information. Obviously, we're seeing that. Now, the big question is, so I think the fraud part is proven. Okay, so the financial crime is proven. Okay, which would mean the campaign violation is proven. Okay, and that's the important one. Let's see. Will he go to jail? That's up to the judge to sentence. Will Judge Maryann, will Trump be sentenced to jail time? Will Trump be sentenced to jail time? Will Trump, I see him lying down in a bed. Will Trump be sentenced to jail time? Ill. Again, these images keep coming. And please don't say, oh, well, you said. No, I'm seeing him ill. Okay. The logic deduction is that he could be impaired, his activities could be impaired. And there is an if, but it's not a certainty. Okay, so will he get jail time? Will Trump get jail time? Somebody's handing over the keys to something. I'm not sure he will. We get celebration, so we get, this is like a no, but we also get the Three of Cups, circles of support. We get the Emperor, control, the presidency, the judge in this case. We get hope in the past. We get the Hermit, isolation. So, yeah, I've never seen him. I've always seen him under like a house arrest. But then we get his sickness, retreat, restriction. He's definitely going to be sentenced to a solitary type of, with the Hermit and the Four of Swords there, a solitary type of confinement. Okay, so we get the Nine of Pentacles and the Hierophant, the Supreme Court. Of course, it will be appealed. So the appeal is already here. It's already in train, even before the sentencing. Decisions, heavy decisions in the hopes and fears. And then we get the Lover's card. That's his Gemini, something coming to fruition in time. And then we get the Six of Swords moving on, moving out of troubled waters. We get women. And then we get the Five of Pentacles. Then we come to the election, which is why I say that if he makes it to the election. But yes, I do need to read on him either winning or losing the election, and I keep seeing that he does in fact lose. These are all yes cards. But I don't see it as jail. I do feel his health is like he's going to topple over sort of thing. I see him in that bed. But I do see that he will be sentenced to some kind of community type. I don't know if it's more than a bond, because it's possible. Anyway, this is the possibility that he could be sentenced to sort of Mar-a-Lago detention, isolated from everybody. And it's something that he's very anxious about. So we get boundaries, and there we get the Queen of Cups here again. She's coming out a lot. Does that represent Stormy Daniels? There will be an appeal here. Am I correct? Is it home detention or some kind of detention in some way rather than jail? Does Trump get detained? Am I seeing? What am I seeing here? That's victory. King of Cups. And the Page of Swords there. The Page of Swords keeps coming out. And headlines. The decision is coming. We'll know soon. There's Mar-a-Lago. I don't know. I think it's more likely to be some kind of lighter sentence rather than off to Rikers with you. I see him sort of isolated from everybody else. Okay. All right. Now to Justice Alito. Let's do this. Alito refuses to recuse himself. Okay, is there more to come on this? Are we going to find out more about Alito's insurrection flag flying? He's blamed his wife. It's absolutely pathetic. You read the actual words and phrases he's used. She refused to take it down. She's an independent woman. I couldn't force her to take it down. The house is half hers. I mean, really? Justice Alito. All right. Will Justice Alito be forced to recuse himself from Trump cases. Will Justice Alito be forced? I see the Four of Swords, retreat, and we get a very strong yes again, and the Queen of Wands. Who's this female? This is, you know, he wrote, like, he's the Dobbs overturning Roe v. Wade. Look at that. It's not ending. That's what I'm saying. This is not ending. We get the Five of Pentacles left out in the cold, locked out of something, and my readings saw that perhaps Roberts has to intervene. Now we have the Four of Wands here, home, family. Then we get the Knight of Wands. Yeah, the calls are just going to grow louder. We get lying. He's lied about something, and that's what's coming out. He's lying. Okay, the Five of Cups. This is pretty serious. Pretty serious. Pausing, suspending something in the here and now. The Queen of Swords in the hopes and fears. There's a woman here. And then we get abuse of power, obviously. The Lovers, Donald, that's my card for Trump. The Cult, being part of the cult. And then we get new starts. And then we get the Truth. So I've got 4 yeses and one no. And then we get isolation and review. Now, there's going to be some kind of review of something set up. It's going to go even further than this. Please keep hope. It's not over yet. Okay. All right. I'm just going to leave it there. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Have a great weekend. And it's Thursday here in Australia. I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.